Good morning. It is Friday, April 26th, the third My Health Over 40 video, talking about sleeping, stretching, and saunas. Think by the week, not the day. Sleeping. I average, for the course of the week, maybe 6 hours of solid sleep. Averaging. I feel pretty good if I get six. If I'm slipping down into five, that's where I start to suffer. Now, this can mean 4 hours one night, 8 hours another night. I am trying to push it more like 6.5 to 7. I think that's more ideal for me. Overall, my weekly approach of averaging, not thinking of, okay, I've only gotten 4 hours of sleep one night. I better get 8 the next, or I'm gonna like thinking in terms of the average for all the days in the week works for me. So not if I have to get up at 4 a.m. to do an English online class, and I've got a lot of stuff that I don't get to bed until midnight. I don't feel guilty. I just make sure that I, over the next few days, for the next course of the week, that I adjust, and everything's fine. Um, it's there's a high schooler thing, I think, of during the weekdays they get very little sleep, and then on the weekends they crash, they sleep in till late morning, and they kind of recover and they keep going, and they depending on if they're scholastic focused or party focused, but they kind of burn late into the night and then recover on the weekend. And I try to have a break, so not have all my sleep on the weekend or at the edges of the week, but throughout. So maybe a day or two less sleep, and then a day or two more sleep. As long as that average, like I said, is around 6, pushing towards 7, I think would be more ideal. And for stretching, I maintain. I try to maintain going to my morning jiu-jitsu with the dynamic warm-up, the stretching warm-up, and then at my work, at the library, taking a moment every now and then to do some micro break stretching. At home, trying to instill good stretching habits in my son, just kind of maintaining, and then picking one thing to push, one thing to go farther. And my motivation is jiu-jitsu. To right now, I'm well, my knees are a little dodgy, but I had already last month improved my what do you call it, like palms to the floor, straight leg, palms to the floor stretch, or keeping a straight back and touching my fingertips to the floor to improve my guard game in jiu-jitsu. And then I would like to improve my cross-legged flexibility, let's say, because I never sat Indian style as a kid. So I'm very inflexible that way. But my knees are a little dodgy, so I'm waiting for some knee protection before I start working on that more. And I also, slipping into saunas, have been working on that stretch towards the end of my sauna stay, when my body is nice and warm and loose. And I've gone four, can't remember, 4 or 5 times now straight, like week after week, and it's fantastic. Staying in there 35 to 40 minutes takes me about 15 minutes to start sweating, and I really start sweating, and then go for a quick cold shower, rinse off, go into the hot tub. It's a very large hot tub, kind of a hot pool, and just let that spray of water like against my shoulders and arms, and it's just a fantastic cap to my week, even though it's on a Monday. So I feel like it's the end of my week. And these these things of sleep and stretching and saunas, this self-care, it's something I look forward to. It's not a chore. I think that's key to good habits. If you could find a way to enjoy them, and like I said about sleeping, I don't stress. I try not to stress that oh man, I didn't get enough sleep. I'm a horrible person, because I stayed up watching YouTube videos until 3 a.m. Adjust and make it up the next few days, and just be strict on a weekly basis. You don't have to be strict on a daily basis, but be strict on a weekly basis to make sure you're recovering, to stay healthy. It's a balanced life balance that is working for me. And then for stretching, I'm not being too ambitious. I'm just picking one thing to focus on, and everything else just maintain, improve it. A week is maybe too short for stretching. Maybe like on a monthly basis. I got hair. That's someone else's hair in my mouth. Jiu-jitsu is great. You should try it. Yeah, it's a wonderful experience. And yeah, so stretching maybe is more of a monthly. I guess the theme of weekly doesn't quite hold. How do I force this? How do I force it? Don't force the stretch. Yeah, I think stretching, like, improve over the course of a month and then maybe move to a different part of your body. This is from perspective of a 40-year-old. If you're 20, man, you're immortal. You are immortal. You are the king of kings. You can do anything. Don't worry about getting hurt or nothing. You're good. But if you're 40 plus, or if you're 30 and you feel like you're 40 plus, or 50, geez, I don't even know about 50. I don't know if I'd leave the house if I was 50. Then, yeah, think on a weekly basis for sleeping, and some habit like the sauna, or I guess cold therapy, rolling in the snow. Sure. I don't think going in the sauna every day makes sense. Oh yeah, and I mean, intermittent fasting is also kind of a weekly thing. Do it once a week. I think is enough. Do like a 16, 20 hour fast at some point during the week. I think that covers it. That was a quick one. See you next week.